everyone. I am Mr. Botros Asad, and today we will talk about mixed numbers. We will learn what are mixed numbers and how can I recognize it. Here I have a pizza and I get one half of the pizza. One half is written like this, 1 over 2. I know that one half of thing is dividing it into two parts, two equal parts. So if I have this part and I divided it into two equal parts, so this distance is called one half. So the distance from here to here is called one half. Applying the same strategy to the number line, if I have a distance between 0 and 1, halfway between 0 and 1 is called 1 half because I divided the distance between 0 and 1 into two parts. So if I walk this part of it will be 1 half. So I can see that like this, if I walked from here to here, so I make 1 half because 1 half is mid halfway between 0 and 1. So this is 1 half. Two halves make the whole pizza. Two halves is like this. Two halves. And two halves is the same as one whole pizza. So if I want to show this on the number line, let's have a look at it. So I start from 0. I see that the distance between 0 and 1 is divided into two parts. So the distance on the number line is counting by halves. So here is one half like this, and here is two halves. And you can see that two halves is the same as 1. Okay. Now let's move to three halves. Three halves is like what? It's like two halves make one whole pizza, and I have one more half. So three halves, which I can write like this, three halves, is written as one whole pizza because two halves make a whole and one more half here. So I have one whole pizza and one half. So this is a mixed number. Why I call it mixed number? Because it is a mix between whole number and a fraction. So the number colored in yellow is a whole because it is a whole pizza, complete pizza. Okay? The number colored in green is a fraction because it is less than one whole pizza. It is one part out of two parts. So this picture is three halves and it is the same as one pizza and one half. So I read it at one and one half and I call it mixed number. How can I show a mixed number on the number line? The bottom number or the denominator is 2. So I divide the distance between two numbers into two parts. So each part is one half. So I will count by one half. So this is one half, this is two halves, and this is three halves. Three halves is like one pizza and one half of a pizza. Here I have four halves. Four halves, I will group it, I will group them into twos because each two make a pizza. So here, these two halves make a pizza and these two halves make a pizza. So four halves is like 2. How can I show this on the number line? You see this number line is divided into halves. So I will count four halves. One half, two halves, three halves, four halves. Four halves is like two whole pizza. I have here five halves. Five halves. I said that each two make a whole. So these two halves make a pizza, and these two halves make a pizza, and I have one extra half here. So five halves is like one pizza, two pizza, and one half of a pizza. So I have two whole pizza and one half of a pizza. I can understand this using the number line. I will count by halves. So this is one half, two halves, three halves, four halves, five halves. So five halves is like two and halfway. So it is two and a half. And don't forget that two halves here make one whole, four halves make two. So five halves is two and one half. Okay, how many halves are there in three and half? So I want to know how many halves in three and half. Okay, where is this three and half? Let's locate three and half on the number line. This is three and this is four. Three and half is the halfway between three and four. So three and half is here. Let's see how many halves goes in three and one half. So it is here one half, two halves, three halves, four halves, five halves, six halves, seven halves. So the answer is seven halves. Okay, what is five halves the same as? Okay, I will imagine that I have a number line and I will count on the number line by half. So I will start by 0. So this is one half, two halves, three halves, four halves, five halves. Okay, so one half, two halves, two halves is one whole. So I will write one here. Here is three halves. Three halves is like one whole, this whole, and one more half. Okay, so four halves, each two halves make a whole. So I have four halves is two, and five halves is like two, this two, and one more half. So I have two and one half. So two and one half is five halves. So the answer is two and one half. And remember, this is a mixed number because it has a whole and a fraction. Okay, I have a pizza and I divided the pizza into four equal parts. As you see, I divide it into four equal parts. Each one part is called one quarter because it is one out of four. So each part is one quarter or one fourth. The four fourths or four quarters make the whole pizza. So one whole is like four quarters. Okay, how many quarters in two? Let's make it visual first. I have two pizzas and I break each pizza into quarters. How many quarters in these two pizza? So one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. So there are eight quarters in two. Okay, how can I make it on the number line? Simply, to understand quarters on the number line, let's have a look at this. Quarter is 1 out of 4. This means the distance between each two numbers will be divided into 4 equal parts. Like, for example, between 0 and 1, I should make 4 equal divisions. Between 1 and 2, I should make 4 equal divisions, and so on. So I divided this number line into quarters, and I will count in quarters until I reach 2. This is 2. I will see how many quarters are there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters is one whole, 5, 6, 7, 8 quarters is 2. Again, 1 quarter, 2 quarters, 3 quarters, 4 quarters, 5 quarters, 6 quarters, 7 quarters, 8 quarters, and this is 2. So I counted 8 quarters. What is 2 quarters the same as? If you look here, I have these 2 quarters. If I put them together, I will see half of a pizza. So 2 quarters is the same as half of a pizza. How can I understand this on the number line? Again, if I want to know 2 quarters, I will divide the number line into quarters. This means between two numbers, I should divide 4 equal parts. And I will count by quarters. So this is 1 quarter and this is 2 quarters, and I will stop here. It is 2 quarters. But until now, I didn't know the answer. Look carefully. This is the distance between 0 and 1. Here is the halfway between 0 and 1. So 2 quarters is the same as halfway between 0 and 1. And halfway means 1 half. So 2 quarters is the same as 1 half. Okay, let's order the following fractions. How can I order the following fractions? First, let's read it. 2 and 1 half, 1 and 1 half, 3 and 1 half, and 1 whole. Okay, what do you think? Which of these fractions is the smallest? Of course, it will not be 2, it will not be 3, it will not be 1, it will 1 and a half, it will not be 1. Of course, this is the smallest because it is 1 half. 1 half is the halfway between 0 and 1, and it is the smallest here. All of them is greater because it is 1 half, smaller than 1. Of course, smaller than 2 and 1 half, smaller than 1 and 1 half, smaller than 3. So 1 half will be the first in my order. Okay, next. So I cancel this. I still have 1. Of course, 3 is so big. I have here 1 and 1 half and 2 and 1 half. So I will not think of this because it has already 2 whole and 1 half. So let's compare this. 1 here and 1 and 1 half. If you have 1 pizza and your brother has 1 and a half pizza, so who of you has the greater? So of course your brother is greater than you because he has 1 and 1 half. So 1 is smaller. So I will write 1 and I will cancel it. Now let's move next. 1 and 1 half, 2 and 1 half. Of course, if you have 1 and a half pizza and your brother has 2 and 1 half pizza, of course, you have a smaller amount of pizza because you only have 1 whole pizza, but he has 2 whole pizza. So this is the next fraction, which is a mixed number. Okay, next, 2 and 1 half and 3 whole. Of course, the one who has 3 pizza has greater pizza than 2 whole pizza and half pizza. So this is the smaller. So it is 2 and 1 half. Next comes the last number, which is 3. Let's read them. 1 half, 1, 1 and 1 half, 2 and 1 half, 3. So this is how can I order fractions. And this was all for today. Thank you very much.